Good afternoon, all. I think you're busy eating. My name is Gowri. I think we're still in January, so I'd like to start with wishing you all a Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Yeah, finally I got some response. Okay, New Year. How many people has got New Year resolutions? Okay. How many people has already broke it? Already 20 days. Yeah, excellent. Some people are responding. Okay, before I start this, I want to tell you guys, I do have a problem, If no one is responding to me, I believe that you're not understanding. So I'll start with, my name is Gowri. So please, it will be an interactive session for the next 20 to 30 minutes. There will be a bit of exercise. Just raising your hands if you agree. If you don't agree, just don't do anything, please. So what is this 4 quadrants of planning, or planning using 4 quadrants? Okay, just don't get deceived by the slide. No, I'm not going to discuss anything about how to do the planning to develop a better software application, because I believe you're all very good experienced at it. But I'm going to discuss with you to see how we can plan our day-to-day work so that we all can have a successful and happy life, which will always reflect our professional life. How many people got this question, and how many people has heard this? I'm always busy. I never seems to have enough time. Excellent. So why do we never seems to have enough time? Okay, I'm going to answer that. First thing is, we all got 24 hours time. And the second thing is, we all got only 24 hours. Okay, let's see. Let's get into details, Out of 24 hours, how much have we really got for our personal time? Let's do the calculation. We spend nearly 8 to 9 hours working and commuting, 3 to 4 hours of getting ready and regular activities, 7 to 8 hours of sleeping, and I think we all end up with 4 to 5 hours of our personal time. You agree with it? Yeah. Let's take an example of some successful people. When we say successful people, we always say like Einstein, Edison, or if it comes to financial issues, we'll say Bill Gates or Johan Bugs. Why can't we take someone from this hall? Okay, let's take an example of Toby or Craig. We agree they are successful, right? I'm not getting an answer. How many people think that they got just 24 hours, like us? Got any more hours in a day for you, Craig? How about you, Toby? How many hours you got in a day?
I'm actually in 26.
26. Yeah. You agree? But I don't agree with it. Not really. Actually, you guys has got your own 24 hours plus 7.5 hours of 100 plus people working for you guys. But I'm not going to get into those details because I want to keep my job in Headforwards. So let's get back to our topic. Why do we need planning? I would like to answer this question if someone sitting here are students or professionals from a different work stream other than software. Because as we all work for software, profession, we know how important is planning. Our day starts with planning. Like a stand-up, don't stand up, I'm telling stand-up meetings. We'll have our sprint plannings, we have our retrospectives, we have 3 amigos, quarterly planning. We know how important is planning as software professional, but the question is, how many people are doing enough planning in our personal life? The answer is we do very little or no planning. Do you agree with me? So, let me come to this topic again. What is this 4 quadrants of planning? So, any work or all the work which we do on our in our life will definitely fit into one of these quadrants. The work which is important and urgent, the work which is important but not urgent, the work not important but urgent, and not important, not urgent. How many people have seen these quadrants before? Excellent. How many people has used these quadrants to plan their life? Very few people. Excellent. Because just by knowing things will not make much difference in our life. We have to use it, right? So let's get into individual quadrant. What are the works do you think which comes under important urgent quadrant? I want some responses from you, or else I'll start from my name is Gowri again.
Emergency or which makes money or depends on individual priorities.
Yeah. Tell me your individual priorities then. Any ideas what work just generally comes under important and urgent? Video games. Health. Yeah. Let's see. Like commuting, daily commuting is important. You have to catch your bus or train in time so that you can come to office in right time. Catching a flight or something when you're going on a holiday, you should be at least 1 to 3 hours ahead of your scheduled time. Any reportings like if you lose a phone, credit card, or a purse, you have to report them as soon as possible. As someone mentioned here, medical emergencies and any incidents. So all like most of the time these things will not. We don't have much control over these things. Okay, food and hygiene. How many people think that food and hygiene comes under important and urgent? So it looks like not many people are agreeing. So when I say about hygiene, I remember a incident. There are 4 people in a lift, and one person says someone's deodorant doesn't look working, and other person says it's definitely not mine because I don't use any deodorant. So sometimes hygiene might not be important for you, but for the people around you. So let's get into the next quadrant. The work which is important but not urgent. Any guess? Getting a haircut. Excellent. Yeah.
Getting the sprint work done.
Sprint work. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Regular health checkups. Renewals. Agree? Renewals. MOTs. All those things. Updating your address or your contact details. Paying the bills. Reservations. Hotel reservations or restaurant reservations. Buying things online instead of going and standing in the queue. Yeah. Any minor repairs? Yeah. Agree? Let's get into the third quadrant. Not important but urgent. Again, any guess? Drinking, yeah. Anything, which you got any scheduled time, even if it's not important. For example, a pre-booked movie or something. Already booked it. It's going to start at 5 o'clock. It's urgent, but it's what will happen if you miss that? You always got second chance. Watching a TV series. I've seen people talking about Game of Thrones very next day after it has been aired every time. Yes. Live sports. Big events. So even if you miss these things, you always can watch online or you got a second chance for this. So not very important, but as it has got time schedule, it's urgent. Last quadrant, not important, not urgent. It's going to be more interesting now. Okay, any guess? Looking after the kids. Amazing. Okay, fine then. Okay, let's look into it. Morning. An average adult mourns for 8 to 10 minutes a day for things which are not in our control. For example, Brexit. There was never a single day we never paused that day without hearing or talking about a Brexit. It has become a part of our life. Mobile phones, smartphones. I'm going to get back to smartphones later because it's a big one. Parties. When I say party, my son asked me, are parties not important? I said, yes, they are important only if you are paying for it. Then if you're not paying, yes, even if you're not going, the party will go on. Last but not least, being sad, worried about the problems. See, if you agree or not, every individual person will have their own problems, and we always spend a lot of time thinking about it. When I say about problems, I remember a story which I read years ago in a book. Once there was a nice king, he always take very good care of the people in their kingdom. But still one day comes to know that, the people are not very happy and they all got still some problems. So he he asked one of his wise person in his council to deal with the problem. And the wise person said, okay, fine. He has informed everybody in the kingdom to list down their problems on a paper and come and meet him in a big stadium. So in every entrance of the stadium, he has kept some drop boxes. So he asked them to put the list in the box before they come into the stadium. So once they are in, he asked them to don't worry about their problems anymore because they don't have to deal with their own problems ever. And people are so excited with it, and he has thrown a big party for them, and they had nice food and some nice music concert. At the end of the day, the wise man said, okay, now while you are living, there's only one condition. You are not supposed to go in the same gate you just got in. While you're going out, you have to take a different slip and you have to solve the problems which has written in it. Now guess what happened? 90% of the people ran back to their own gates, find their own slips. Because we got the problems, because only we can deal with it. Instead of being sad or worried about it, we should do some kind of changes in our life, which we can solve our problems. Let's get back to our 4 quadrants again. Which quadrant do you think is very important out of these 4? Top left, the first one. Say, name it. This is first, second, third, fourth. Anybody in this hall who thinks 3 and 4 are important?
It's just not important.
It says not important. Okay, fine. If your answer is the first quadrant, then I would say it's no. You know why? As I have already said, once the work comes to this quadrant, there is not much choice other than dealing with it. You don't save anything here. You not going to make any difference. You have to deal with it. I say quadrant 2 is very important. Even though it's not urgent, it's very important. For example, let's look into the health checkups. How many people know that it's better to have health checkups done once in 6 months? How many people know that it's mandatory to have a health checkups done once in 2 years if you are older than 30 years? If you go and speak to a person who has been diagnosed with a serious illness, most of the time the doctor would say that disease could have been cured if it had been diagnosed 3 to 4 months before. So it will make a much change in your life. Renewals. We all know that we can do the renewals 28 days before it expires, and for a price of 30 to 40% cheaper. But we leave it until the last date. Likewise, paying the bills, we got always 30 days time to pay our bills. If you miss paying the bills, not only you'll pay the fine, but also you'll lose our credit history. Minor repairs. When I talk about minor repairs, most of the major repairs we are having today, at one stage they are like minor. For example, there was a recent incident with my friend. He said like he had a problem with a switchboard in his kitchen. He left it for a couple of months because it's just a switchboard, and eventually it has blew his exhauster fan. So he ended up paying 200 pounds for the price he has to, it will be solved for 20 pounds. Sometimes it will become more costlier if you leave it for later stages. Now we know. Now, do you guys agree that at least quadrant 2 is important now than quadrant 1?
Yeah, okay. I agree.
Agree? There are a few people agreeing. Yeah. I think Mike is worried. I want to start from my name again. Okay. Then where exactly we are spending our time? Either in Quadrant 3 or 4?
4.
Mostly 4. Let's see. Like as I said, I'm going to get back to the phones, mobile phones, smartphones. It's become a biggest addiction. How many people will agree like mobile phones has become a biggest addiction for a kid till a grown up? How many times we'll take a phone to text someone or to call someone, but we end up doing something else. By the time we realize, we forgot why you took the phone in your hand. It happened to me many times. There's nothing wrong in admitting, right? Look at our office meetings. People are phones in the hand. Years with the discussion and phone in the hand. I don't know how much really it goes into your mind. That's what's happening now. Family time. Very quality time. See, like everyone has got their own gadgets and spending time quality with the family. On an average, a person is spending 3 to 4 hours a day on their smartphones. So eventually it is like 45 to 50 days a year. If we can save those time which we waste in quadrant 4 and we can utilize rightly for the quadrant 2, it will make a big difference. Basically, we know by rushing what will happen. Either we compromise with the quality, or we'll risk life, or we will pay more. See, for example, what will happen. So this is how our life will be when we live it till the last minute. Okay. So what is the solution for this? It's not I'm not going to give you like a big solution or something. Very small changes in our life will make a much difference. There are some wonderful apps. Again, technology can be used in a good way as well. If someone might be wondering why I said not to use phones much, and again I'm telling about some apps. You can use it in a good way. There are some apps like family organizers. These are like exactly what's happening within your family. If if your son has got an exam, you can teach him or you can spend some time there. You can plan your things around it. There are some personal assistants like virtual personal assistants. These apps can literally convert your voice into text, and it'll give you a heads up before the meeting schedules. And there is one app in it, I think Time Tree. If I'm not wrong, it will show how your day is going to be tomorrow with the color coded message. Like if it is red, it's going to be very busy day. Amber is like moderate. Green, you got enough time to do more planning or something. And we always got our old school ways, fridge planners and these kinds of things. It's writing that makes difference. If you write things on a paper, or if you write things somewhere, definitely it will help you in doing the things. Most of the time we'll go to shopping mall or for doing some shopping, and we'll end up buying only half of the things which we wanted to buy because we don't have the proper list. Just the small things, will make much difference. When I say like small things, much difference. Don't expect me to come with some solutions, which will make you change your life like anything. No, because winners don't do different things. They just do the things a little bit different. It's a famous quote from You Can Win. It's a very good book actually. Just to show how small things will make a much big difference in life, I'd like to share one more story. One day, in a big auction hall, there's multiple auctions going on. One person came with his violin to auction it. He started to sell it for £100. No one is interested. So he reduced it to 90. It's going backwards, 80, 70. Still no one is interested. So he was a bit, disappointed. Suddenly one person in the hall approached him and borrowed his violin properly. He took his cleaning kit and properly polished it and cleaned it and fine-tuned the strings. And he started to play a wonderful music from it. All of a sudden, everybody in the hall went quiet and very much mesmerized with the music. For some time, he suddenly stopped playing, gave back the violin and left the hall. This person again started the auction, started with £100 again. Someone said 120, 140, 200, 250. I don't know how much for. See, what exactly has changed for a violin which was not able to sold for 70 pounds or so to 250 pounds. What has changed actually? A bit of polishing, yeah, presentation, and some fine tuning. We are like the violins here, but the only difference is we can't expect someone, to come and change our life or fine tune our life so that we'll be better at what we're doing. Even if someone is ready to do, we may not accept it because we believe we know everything. So it's it's our life. We have to make the decisions to make that small changes, which eventually will make us a successful person and increase our value in our life. Before I end this session, I'd like to tell one thing I always believed in. What exactly we are today is what we are planning from last 2 years. Do you agree with it? I'm rephrasing it again. I'm saying it again. What we are today is exactly what we are planning from last 2 years. How many people will agree with it? Only half of the people, not even half. Okay, fine. That means what exactly I'll be after 2 years is definitely within my hands. If I can plan right in the correct way and if I execute it in a proper method, I'll be definitely more successful. And I wish you all a very good luck in the years ahead. Thank you so much.